Parties and Pegasisters of all ages, welcome once again to Like a Ditzy Do, a video blog about the My Little Pony collectible card game. I am your host, the Nate Damn Z, and when I first started lurking in this particular fandom, there was a lot of talk about card art. Namely, a lot of people were saying that they wanted to see characters and concepts introduced in the My Little Pony comic book brought into the game. And while I was yet to work up the courage to actually participate in any capacity, I was against the idea. You see, I really liked the consistency provided by all the card art being provided by screenshots. Surely using art from other sources would be very jarring, right? So I'm sure you can imagine my surprise when on their Facebook, Enterplay asked if anyone could guess the one card in Premier Set whose art isn't a screenshot. This surprise led into confusion when I, honest to Luna, could not figure out the answer to the question. I mean, all of the card art was clearly screen captures, right?
Well, nope. Turns out Heart's Desire, the game's first ultra-rare resource, wasn't based on screen capture, as pointed out by several folks who remember that we never see the plant in the wild, only in Sakura's hut.
The artist in question goes by the name of Pixel Kitties, and she's been doing work for Enterplay ever since. Every full set has contained at least one card drawn by her, not to mention all the various playmats and posters.
And yeah, her work looks like it was pulled right from the show, to the point where you may need an encyclopedic knowledge of each episode to realize a card doesn't contain a screen capture. The most obvious example of this for me would be the Canterlot Knights event Rock, Paper, Scissors, Shoot. I spent months trying to remember what episode this image was from. How could I not remember such an over-the-top moment featuring 2 of the other 6? Was it a Season 2 episode? Because I haven't seen much of that one since I watched it the first time. I mean, what's the context?
Someone had to tell me it was an original art piece. I don't remember if I read it in a discussion somewhere, or Enterplay replied to me directly via Twitter, or what. But it wasn't until then that I knew this was a piece somebody had drawn. I felt pretty dumb about it, but there's 2 reasons why I shouldn't.
1, there's the obvious need not to beat myself up over such a simple mistake for the sake of my own mental health. But, more on topic, 2, if you hadn't seen the entire series, would you know this isn't a screen capture? This woman is insanely talented. Each one of her pieces that I've seen, game-related or not, looks exactly like the style of the show. Take Equestria Mailmare here. If Enterplay hadn't mentioned Miss Kitties right when they revealed it, I could easily see the standard version being a background gag.
Speaking of backgrounds, there is a reason why I specifically brought up Mailmare. Aside from it being one of my top 10 most favorite cards in the game, I mean. As part of my research for this episode, I perused Pixel Kitty's DeviantArt account, looking for the pieces related to the CCG. When I found the Mailmare art, I read the description where she wrote about how that tree in the background is an actual tree from the show. A tree she went to great lengths to replicate as perfectly as she possibly could, only for most of it to be cropped out and removed from the final picture. And none of that was mentioned as a complaint. The last line of the description is her thanking Enterplay for coming up with ideas that are truly fun to bring to life.
And it's this that truly makes me a fan of her. It's not just about replicating the style of the show, even if she does it perfectly. What makes Pixel Kitties truly special is her heart. Her kindness and humor translate into her work in the expressions of the characters she draws. That's what makes me mistake her pictures for screen captures. The characters look as real and as full of life as they seem on the show.
When I came up with the idea for this episode, I wanted to get Pixel Kitty's permission first. that was really important to me. Not only did she say I could go ahead, but that she was honored and to let her know if there was anything she could do to help. Honored. I don't really have a response to that. It doesn't sound like I'm being overly mean to myself. So let's just say that it was very humbling. As for help, she's been extremely helpful. You may have noticed that my subtitles, captions, etc. for this episode have all been purple. That's because she told me purple was her favorite color, which I asked just for that specific reason. She also provided the art of her own OC, which is what you saw on the title card. I haven't interacted with her much on social media, but every time I have, it's been a delight. But yeah, that's just my interactions with her, and I freely admit to a bias. I do have another example, though. In Season 6 of a certain show that you're probably at least a little familiar with if you're watching this, there's an episode called Top Bolt. In that episode, we are introduced to a character named Angel Wings, who via the Make-A-Wish Foundation is a fan-created character voiced by her creator. Not long after the episode aired, this wonderful young woman got a Twitter. And because the internet is a cesspool, not long after that, she started being harassed by trolls. And it was the worst harassment that I have personally seen. Like, truly disgusting stuff. But in steps Pixel Kitties, who gave this wonderful young voice actress a several tweet long pep talk telling her not to let the trolls get to her and thanking her for what she's brought to the community so far. Now, it warmed my heart just reading it. I can't imagine what it did to the person she was talking to.
There's a reason I picked this idea for my November episode. Here in the United States, this is the month we celebrate the often overlooked holiday of Thanksgiving, where we are supposed to celebrate the things and people we appreciate. Well, Miss Kitties, I really hope you're watching this, because I would like you to know that we appreciate you. I know it's not just me, because I've read several comments gushing about your art, both from fans and from Enterplay themselves. I saw a certain Pony OC voice actress thank you for your kind words. And going back to just speaking for myself, if I may take a moment to be completely honest, you provided laughter and smiles when I needed to laugh and smile. You reminded me that there are good people out there in a time when my depression made me wonder. So yes, from the bottom of my heart, I offer my most sincere gratitude. Our fandom, especially this little subsection of it, is better because we have you in it.
And I think that about wraps it up for this particular episode of Like a Ditzy Do. However, instead of my usual closing fare, I just want to take a moment to wish every pony watching this a very happy Thanksgiving. I will never be able to fully articulate how much I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch this, especially if you're among those who don't know anything about the game yet watch anyway. And instead of my normal catchphrase, I'll just end with a sentiment that I've been trying to spread via my Twitter and my Positive Brony Facebook page. Always be kind. Because the smallest gesture to you could mean the entire world to some pony else.
Awesome as I wanna be. Awesome as I wanna be. First you see me riding on a sonic boom. Got my guitar shredding up my latest tune. There is nothing you can do to beat me. I'm so good that you can't